Hey there, and welcome back to the Homemade Haven. My name is Brooke, and today I wanted to share a little bit about what we're doing here in our household to better prepare for the future. Now, whenever I introduce this topic to you, I'm sure many of you will be like, Brooke, are you guys preppers? Are you guys prepping for some kind of disaster or something along those lines? I know that preppers kind of get a bad rap, but I want to say that we like to prepare for any kind of situation, whether that be a natural weather situation or something that happens by means of government or lack thereof. We just like to be prepared for any kind of circumstance to where we have food and supplies in case we need them and can't get to them for any sort of reason. So that being said, today I want to show you guys how we are stocking up on some bulk items and storing them in a way that keeps them good for up to 25 years. Now, I don't think that we'll need them 25 years from now, and we probably will plan on eating them or using them between now and then, but having that security is always a great thing, and knowing that you have something to rely on if you can't get to other means is just a huge weight off your shoulders. So I wanted to share with you how we are doing this in case you too are interested in stocking up and prepping some foods and supplies for your household as well. So today I'm going to be divvying up 2 large portions of food that we have bought from a local Amish market. They actually allow us to look at their catalog or online and see the things that they buy in bulk from their supplier and let us buy it at that rate as well. So I've taken advantage of that, and I bought 50 pounds of oatmeal and 20 pounds of black beans. I really wanted to get rice to have like beans and rice together, but the rice was just astronomical, the price of it, because I really do want to stick to organic or as clean as possible, especially with things like rice, which are known to be highly genetically modified or pesticide ridden. So I skipped the rice this time. I've bought a couple of bags of small rice that I have on hand, but I figured the oatmeal is a good way to go. It's another good whole grain, and worst case scenario, if we need to get rid of it, we will have livestock that will be happy to eat the oats for us. And of course, the black beans are a wonderful source of protein besides having stored dried canned meats. For your protein source, beans are probably the next best thing in line. They're full of protein, have a good source of carbs, low in fat if you're looking for that, and they store really well being dried. So what we're going to do today is actually store these items in Mylar bags. I found this set of Mylar bags on Amazon, and it came with a variety of sizes. So we have like a gallon size bag here, probably a quart size bag, and then there's one that's smaller than this that might be good for maybe seasonings and spices and stuff. I figured that I can fit probably a pound of beans into each of these smaller bags here, and then the oatmeal I'm going to store in larger quantities because I do have 50 pounds of it, so I'm going to use my gallon bags for that. Now, I thought that I had bought the sealable Mylar bags where you actually have to use heat to seal them. Luckily, I guess I purchased the ones that have a resealable top to them, so these will be really great for not only the ease of putting them away up front, but also if we ever need to dip into them and use them but don't need the whole bag, we can reseal it and it will still be good for years to come. So if you get the Mylar bags that need to be heat sealed, they have special heat tools that you can buy or borrow from somebody that are they're cost effective, not too bad, but I have also heard people use like a flat iron that you use for your hair. So you could take it and just clamp it across the seam of your bag and it would seal it together just as well. Now, I haven't tried that myself. I was honestly planning on trying it for this video, but seeing as I bought the resealable ones, I won't need to do that this time. But if you have ever successfully used a flat iron to seal your Mylar bags, please leave it in the comments below because I'm really interested to see how that worked for you. Now, this package that I bought came with the oxygen absorbers. This is a vital part of storing items in Mylar bags. If your kit that you purchased does not include them, you will want to look for these separately because this is what's going to help keep your food longer when storing long term. So you've probably seen these oxygen absorbers in packages that you've bought before with food or other items. Sometimes you see them in shoes or clothing or whatever. And what they are meant to do is absorb all of the oxygen and prevent any kind of humidity or anything that would damage your items. So once we drop these into our Mylar bags, it's gonna suck up all of the oxygen in the bag and do kind of a vacuum seal, which you can see this bag that these came in is completely sealed and airtight because of all of these absorbers inside of it. And that's exactly what we're looking for once we have our items inside of our Mylar bags and sealed. We don't want any air getting inside because air can cause mold and also allow bugs to get in or other bacterias that we do not want inside of our storage for up to 25 years. So I'm going to be very strategic about using these oxygen absorbers today. What I plan to do is open them and take out a handful of them and put into my mason jar here and seal it as tight as I can to try to extend the life of these oxygen absorbers because once they hit air, they start working. So I don't want to open them and just leave them on the table for an extended period of time to where all of their absorption power is used right now while I'm putting this stuff in the bags because that would kind of defeat the purpose. So this might be a step that's above and beyond what I really need to do, but I don't know how fast I'm going to be able to work today, so I'm going to try to extend their life as far as I can. One last thing that my kit came with were labels for each bag because as you can imagine, once you have items inside of your Mylar bag, chances are you're not going to know what's in there when you have several items that are the same size. So it's important to either jot on there with a Sharpie or use some kind of label to label your item and also put the year that you put them inside of the bag so that you can keep track of that for expiration dates in the future. So now I'm just going to get my stuff opened and ready to start assembling. I have a bowl here with my scale that I'm going to try to measure out about a pound per bag of beans, like I said. So I have a box of 20 pounds of black beans. So I should get about 20 quart-sized bags of black beans done today. And I'll show you exactly what that looks like. So let's get started. right, we have a little system going now with these black beans. Reagan stepped in to give me a hand, so I'm gonna go ahead and start tackling this 50-pound bag of oatmeal here. So maybe we can get this all done today and get outside while the weather is really nice and enjoy the weather.
Duh. I don't want to look at it. Probably touch it. Oh, it's not like in a bag.
Okay, so now that we've got our groove going, we kind of know how many scoops per bowl that these items are, and it's a lot easier to use smaller bowls or measuring cups to pour into your big bags rather than dumping the big bowl and dropping things all over the floor, which we have done several times now. Thank God for the vacuum and for dogs. But for the gallon size Mylar bag that I'm putting the organic rolled oats into, I'm using a 1.5 cup scoop here, and it takes about 5 of these to equal 2 pounds, which is what I'm putting in each bag. And for the black beans, we're using a 2-cup measuring cup, which is right at a pound of black beans. So it's much easier to just measure it out in these smaller containers and put into the big bags rather than dumping this giant bowl and making a mess, which is more work while you're trying to bag up all of these items in a short amount of time. So for each gallon bag, I'm putting 1 of the oxygen absorbers in it. I've read either way you could do 1 or 2, and I would prefer to probably do 2 per gallon bag, but I don't know how many of the absorbers that I have on hand. And because everything is open now and being exposed to the air and environment, I'd rather just go ahead and get them in the bags and toss 1 of these oxygen absorbers in and do my best to really crumple the bag down and squeeze all of the air out as best as we can. And the fact that we're not going to be going in and out of these bags several times until we actually need them, I think the 1 oxygen absorber will be plenty to suck out the amount of oxygen that this would need to create stuff that we don't want inside of it. Okay, so we have finally wrapped it all up. We have approximately 20 1-pound black bean bags and approximately 25 2-pound organic rolled oats. So we are set on both of these for many years to come, and hopefully these Mylar bags and oxygen absorbers will do as they're supposed to do. This has been a tried and true method for years. People have had lots of success with this, so I feel pretty confident in their storage capabilities. So my plan is to get a couple of 5-gallon buckets with the airtight lids on them to put these bags into, to just help protect them from the weather and other kinds of elements. And it's just easier to store that way. I can stack them on top of one another or stick them in a pantry or a closet or wherever. It is still best to keep them at a cooler temperature if you can, probably not exceeding like 85 degrees Fahrenheit, 90 degrees Fahrenheit, because anything that's in heat is going to perish more quickly. So I wouldn't keep it too cold either because the freezing could cause some condensation or whatever if it thaws or whatever. So just keep it in your house at regular temperature, and keep an eye on it every once in a while. Make sure that there isn't any leaks or any kind of bug situation. But if you followed all of the rules correctly and your bags are up to par and your oxygen absorbers are doing what they're supposed to do, you shouldn't have any problem with that. So the bags that I got off of Amazon were really a lifesaver with the resealable seal on the top of them. It really saved us a lot of time, so we didn't have to seal with the heat iron. So I will try to link in the description below to this exact kit that we bought so that you can buy these as well if you're interested in doing this at home. It will save you a lot of time and effort. The only downfall is your fingertips might get a little sore after sealing over and over and over again, but no big deal. So that pretty much wraps it up for us with our 25-year food storage for both our black beans and oats. This was an easy process. I think if I can buy in bulk with other items that have a long shelf life, I'll probably do the same, use the same bags, go through the same process. It was easy enough to do, and it saves money buying in bulk, especially with your organic and better quality grains and beans and dried goods and things like that. So let us know in the comments below if you're doing anything, taking any measures to be a little bit prepared in your household for whatever may come, if anything may come. Let us know, give us some ideas to think about if there's anything that we should add to our arsenal as well. And I hope that you guys got something out of this video. If you have any other questions or comments or additional information, please leave those in the comments as well. We so appreciate you guys tuning in and following along, and we hope to see you guys on the next video. Until then, we will see you later.